All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, 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 healers. You're all healers. I'm Elizabeth Menzel, and I'm the founder of the Happy Woman Academy. And over the last 27 years, I've become an expert in the neurobiology of trauma and healing and happiness. So that's how I give my gifts into the world, is through systems using neurobiology, physics-based energy medicine, neuromuscular therapy, and movement-based neurobiology treatments that get people out of pain very quickly. So primarily I work with people with any range of symptoms of post-traumatic stress. So from chronic pain, anxiety, depression. That's my specialty. But this is especially to help other healers with specifically some issues that I've seen over my 27-year career, and to give you some sort of insider tips and to help you learn from my mistakes.
Good, how are you?
So I want to fit a lot in. I don't want to take a lot of your time.
Sade, but she's
I'm
needed.
going to be fitting a lot in.
So we really didn't get anywhere.
A very condensed amount of time. I'm going to jump in really quickly, and I'm going to follow my notes to do that. Otherwise, I go really broad and really big, and I want to really stay on point to the four secrets.
Nothing.
So we'll jump in. We'll do the four secrets, and then at the end, save your questions to the end, and we'll have a Q&A at the very end. So if people need to go after exactly half an hour, they can go, and this is recorded, so you can have it for later. I suggest that you take notes, just because I may be telling you some things that you've never heard before, or never really thought about in that way before, and I'd love for you to have that for yourself. You know, this is for you, so you can improve your healership, especially during this pandemic. And then at the end, I'll promise you how to get more. So this is sort of the background of how all of this came together. I've always had healers in my healing practice as my clients, other doctors, nurses, psychotherapists, other healers. But I've never marketed myself that way. You know, that was never part of my branding. It just was a natural occurrence. I feel like we're here to help each other, and we can't be experts in everything. And so, you know, I like how healers really can be there for each other and help each other. But what happened was really weird in November, just last November, in the same week, 3 psychotherapists contacted me in the same week, and they didn't know each other. And they all were really unhappy in their healerships. And they felt like they were in alignment with helping people, but something wasn't quite right. So one of them had actually given up her psychotherapy license, and like was feeling, she said she felt like a cork bobbing around on the ocean, and she saw me in my Facebook group being like happy, and she said, yeah, I see you enjoying your work, you're full of energy. And I think, what does she know that I don't know? So that's why she contacted me. The other one has master's, PhD in psychology. She was actually running the psych wing of a hospital, and she just totally burned out. And she just couldn't do it anymore. And she became a coach. She's actually a really successful coach. But she said she knows so much, but she felt like something was missing. And she wanted to learn the energy behind what she was doing. She felt like she would feel better and she could help her clients better if she knew what was going on. And she never learned any of that. And then the third one was just really overwhelmed, overscheduled. She felt really scattered and felt really unhappy, but she also loved helping people. And there was this cognitive dissonance there for her. And she felt like very undermined in her practice and very confused. She said, I love helping others, but I hate how I feel and I hate my business. So can anyone here relate to any of those three things? I could definitely relate to it, because I used to run my practice very differently than how I run it now. And there also used to be this big split. So in the healing room, I felt very centered, very calm, very together. But outside the healing room, I was a total hot mess. I was in an abusive marriage. My life was super chaotic. So there was this huge split from healer Elizabeth and everyday life Elizabeth. So I've been on a long journey with my own healership. And what I noticed throughout the years was that there's a lot of healers and therapists around me that are suffering too. I feel like it kind of came to a head in November, and now we have this pandemic. So it's happening again, where a lot of healers find themselves in some kind of crisis with their business. And then a few years ago, in a meditation, it came to me to become a public speaker, and I didn't really know what that meant, and I had no skill set there. And so I joined one of those really super high level masterminds, one of those like $20,000 a year masterminds, to help me with all of that. And there were some pros and cons with that. It was basically 3 years of misery for me, which I'll talk more about later, because implementing it was really hard. But while I was there, I noticed that a lot of coaches around me were also suffering. So I feel like we're all dedicated to our healership. We all have this very sincere desire to help others. And then somehow something doesn't work, and we get a little lost along the way of implementation. And, you know, now that we add in the pandemic, we have this whole other level we're dealing with around not being able to work and not being able to do our work in the same way that we're used to. So there's a lot of happy, unhappy, burned out, unprosperous healers out there. And it took me time. I really struggled when I was in that mastermind with their systems. And it took me years to figure out what was not working for me. And I found this other way to run my career that I feel really aligned, I feel happy, I feel well rested, I feel prosperous. And I'm not going to force my way onto you. I just want to give you what I've found so that you can create a way for yourself, maybe a new way to run your practice, have a new perspective around how you could do that and stay prosperous even during this time. So I'll share with you what works and what doesn't for me, and hopefully you can learn from my mistakes and make some really positive shifts. So I want to just take a moment and open a healing vortex, and then I'll jump right into the four secrets. So if we could just take a moment to take a deep breath together. Yes, Sandy? Here, I'm going to unmute you. Can you unmute yourself? Because I can't hear you, honey.
Yeah.
Yes.
This woman that's on here, this Deb, I can't hear you, and I can't experience all your love and stuff because she's not muted.
Someone's not muted. Okay. Great.
Okay.
It's just taking away from your beautiful presentation.
Lower right-hand corner, everybody. If you could yourself. Okay, I'm gonna, I think I muted the problem. Sounds better, right? Everyone's muted now, but
yes.
Okay. All right. Yep. Looks like everyone's muted. Thank you for letting me know, Sandy. I appreciate it. That was really loud here. There we go. Now everyone's muted but me. Thank you. You're sweet. All right. So let's all take a deep breath together. You can close your eyes or if you want to. And just let your shoulders relax. Oh, it's nice to feel other healers. Great. So I open this healing vortex for these beautiful healers that is the 4 secrets to energized and prosperous healers. And I welcome all of you here into this sacred space of sharing between us healers. Thank you so much for being here, and just allow yourself to be present for these few minutes and open to receive See if you can get yourself to beginner's mind. I know so many of you are very well trained, well practiced. You've been in this for a long time, but give yourself this opportunity to come to beginner's mind and receive anew. And I align with the intention of each one's highest good, that you get some gem, some treasure today that helps to move you forward in a positive way in your healership. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you for doing that with me. I believe it's time to heal the healer in a big way. So let's dive into these 4 secrets, and you'll see how they dovetail and how they work all together. So, secret number 1, you need to be able to consciously regulate your energy inside of you and outside of you. So really circulating your energy in a way that works. I'm a Barbara Brennan healer, so I do use the chakra system, which is extremely detailed. It's a 4-year minimum course, so we really learn how to move our energy. But it is a very consistent practice, meaning you don't just like do it once and it's done. You're doing it continuously, where you're really circulating and moving your energy. Now, a lot of you have your own systems. Use those systems so that you can really open yourself up, keep your energy moving, because what ends up happening, and it's very common, I'm actually going to throw some statistics at you, is healer and caregiver burnout, therapist burnout is rampant. 40% of psychologists report high levels of emotional exhaustion. 84% of caregivers say that it's overly stressful to take care of others. 88% of doctors feel burned out, and 59% would not advise their children to go into medicine. So that's really major. There are 4 main ways energy flows, and knowing that and knowing how to move those 4 ways in your system and then in relation to your client helps keep you really clean and helps you navigate and move energy. And that's part of what that one psychotherapist was talking to me. It's like she started to be able to feel these energy flows, but she didn't know what they were and didn't know how to relate with them. So that's super important. You have to keep yourself very centered and strong. So really amped up in your power. Energy always runs from greater to lesser. So you have to be more amped up than your client, because that's physics. Automatically will always run from the power plant outwards. So you have to come into every single session amped up. You need to, so before you see your clients, you have to get yourself into that amped up state. And so I always suggest for healers to have a before and an after ritual. So before, where you amp up, you come in really clean, you come in very blank, because you don't want to be projecting onto your client either, so that you can totally receive. So one of the energy actions, right? So there's a outward flow, an inward flow, a stop, and an allow flow. So you've got to become masterful of those 4 flows, because you've got to be able to fully receive your client without that projection getting in the way, and without your personal stuff being accidentally blocking your wisdom from them or put onto them. And you need to have a post-client ritual where you can totally wash the client off. I forgot to do that once, and I went to my healer after I gave a healing, and he described every single thing my client was wearing. So it's really important that we do that ritual. You know, if you're about the getting really centered, you know, if you're not in this centered place, you're not going to be amped up higher, and you're not going to be manifesting cleanly. I say if you're not manifesting from your power, you're manifesting from your pain. So you need to really have a practice that keeps you strongly centered, amped up, and aligned with your highest good, so you can serve others in a clean way, in a way that has integrity and that really lets your skills come through. And so you can have reliable energy all day long, so you don't have these sort of spikes and dips, so that you're really smooth. We talked about boundaries. One of the things that I've seen is healers get into a habit of over-giving. So they overextend themselves because we're all such givers. And it makes it really hard to run a successful practice in that way. It leads to burnout, and it also leads to a problem with boundaries, energetic boundaries with your clients. And one of the things I see very often is that healers give healing without consent. So that's something I wanted to bring in here too. Like, make sure that you're not just giving healing to everybody, that you're asking consent. I work with trauma, so that's especially important, but I think that's a way to really keep strong integrity among healers, is to always ask for consent first. So even if it's on Facebook, ask if you can give healing. Don't just give the healing. Great, and we did ritual before and after, and that's how the ritual after too is like part of how you protect yourself from negative energy. I don't personally believe in negative energy, but we do take on the others. I believe all energies are neutral, so or can be neutralized. But you really don't want to take on anything that isn't yours. You want to totally let that go and give the responsibility of the healing back to your client afterwards. All right, I got to go fast. Secret number 2 is walk your talk. Walk your talk. I think a lot of healers, therapists, massage therapists, we all know a lot, but it's very different to know it and to embody it and live it and be it. And one of the best things you can do for your clients is to be it, is to live it. We can get in this place where we disassociate from our own body, our own wisdom, our own intuition by being a talking head and knowing so much. That third therapist that got to me, she had what we call in energy medicine, upwardly displaced energy. It was all up in her head and up above her head, but she wasn't living any of her wisdom. So her body was miserable and she just felt so run down and couldn't understand her disconnect because she was so smart and knew so much. So really, really living it. And one of the ways to do that is make sure you're doing what you're asking your clients to do. Right? So if you have a common thing that you do for your clients, make sure either you're doing it for yourself or you're also receiving it. So massage therapists get massages, therapists see a therapist, healers see a healer. Make sure you're receiving. Like, I give energy practices, so I make sure that I'm doing energy practices all the time. So whatever that is, that's how you can be congruous and not be in that cognitive dissonance where you're saying one thing and doing another. All right. Have a healing team. So that's one of the things I promote. I have a healing team. It takes a lot to keep this woman healthy and strong. So, your acupuncturist, your massage therapist, your nutritionalist. I just hired a new health coach. Just really make sure you're receiving as much as you're giving. You don't want to be in that depleted place where you're undermining your own healership, really. All right. Secret number 3, make your peace with prosperity. This was a huge journey for me. I had a powerful father who, we were really poor and we thought he was rich. He left my family earlier. He was probably middle class. He was rich to us. But in my mind, power and money became bad, and poverty and not humble, but honestly powerless became good. So I had a lot of victim mentality and a lot of poverty consciousness going around in here. And so it made me poor and powerless in my world and in society. So making your peace with poverty, with prosperity, and really shifting from that poverty consciousness to prosperity consciousness, which I find especially, it's something that very spiritual people often struggle with. Money is seen as bad. Money's an energy. It can be a neutral. It is, you know, I honestly, I wish that money didn't exist at all. I think we'd be much better off if everyone just gave from their heart and there was absolutely zero money. I still think everything would get done and buildings would get made. But what we have right now, the game we're playing now, is one with money. So having outer world and inner world ways to deal with that. I teach inner world ways. I bring other people in to teach outer world ways to raise your prosperity levels. And I can say that by overcoming my own poverty programming, I've quadrupled my income without working harder. In fact, I used to work 4 jobs and I made less money than I make now working, I don't know, I probably work 10 hours a week, 20 hours a week max, and I make 4 times as much. So, and all of that came from inner world ways. So it's about learning how to open your receiving channels, really letting the vibrational frequency of prosperity through you. And like any weakness, to get strong, you've got to work it out a lot. You've got to do it a lot. So allowing yourself to feel that prosperity frequency very often, not once in a while, because what happens is we get stuck in not enough. You know, I don't have enough clients. I don't have enough money. I don't make enough. So really working with those inner world ways around letting prosperity through. And I think that's especially important now during the pandemic. And now we have time to really work on these inner world ways, you know? We're not seeing as many clients. Obviously, my neuromuscular therapy practice isn't going right now. It's 100% on my energy healing practice, which was already all long distance. But even with the pandemic, the last 2 months have been some of my most prosperous months ever. So getting out of using this time during the pandemic to really switch your energy. So when the outer world ways change, right? When the pandemic goes away, you're ready for them and you can handle them. If you don't do that inner work now, which manifestation can be instantaneous and it can take time because you must practice frequencies in order to start radiating a different frequency. So do it now. Use this time now for this incredible energy building and attraction energy building. So when that pandemic is over, bam, they're going to go to you, right? Not only your own clients, but new ones. And I cannot tell you, I won't tell you the specifics, but I just attracted another $5,000, and it is just from doing this inner world practice. It's in a weird way. Money just started coming to me when I really got serious about this practice. I want to say 5 or 6 years ago. I've made over $150,000 extra dollars that isn't contingent upon doing the healings. So you open to new ways that come in. It is quite phenomenal, and it still kind of amazes me. So this is secret number 4. Oh, good, we're right on time. We're just gonna make it. So secret number 4, the structure of your practice. I used to run my practice in the typical way most do, which is someone gets in touch with you, you have a session with them, they feel great, it's amazing, they go away, you don't hear from them for 3 months until they have crashed and burned so bad that they've finally made the decision to pick up the phone and call you again, maybe, and they're all the way down here. And you get stuck. I was stuck for 20 years in this like 2 steps forward, 3 steps back with my clients. And it was heartbreaking and I didn't know what to do about it. So I have completely restructured my practice and I run it in a totally different way now. And my way might not be good for your way, that's fine. But what people do with me now is they sign up for either 6 months or a year and they pay in advance. And they are all in. I'm gonna cry. I can't tell you what a difference it makes when your clients are all in and they know that you're gonna be there for them and that they're gonna get to see you. And it's just totally different. Some of my same clients, you know, they came to me after I had changed my structure, and at first they were really pissed about it because it was more expensive. And some of them, I actually lost a lot of clients for a while. They all came back, and they cannot believe the night and day difference. So I put my clients on a training program, which was all the energy practices I was trying to get them to do anyway. And so now they get to do all these energy practices, and they know they're going to see me every other week. And it's amazing. It's leaps and bounds different. So I strongly suggest you find your own way to run your practice that's outside of the norm. As healers, you know, we want to heal everybody all the time. We want to help everybody all the time. And we can't. We just can't. And living in that way was depleting for me. So I've gotten clear on who I like to help. I like to help women like me who have post-traumatic stress disorder, who go through a lot of anxiety and depression and chronic pain. And a lot of my people are healers. So that's just who I like to help. So I'm clear about that. So it's you know, that's who I like to help. The way I like to help them, I just shared with you, right? I put them on a program, and I see them as clients, and I do group program. So they get everything. And sorry, I got too far ahead of myself. I got to catch up with my notes. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to say. That this way I do it, this 6 months or a year, like, you don't put your clients in the position of having to crash and burn and then having to decide to call you again. They make one decision and then they're in. And you really take that burden off of them. And that's a huge thing. I think that's what I actually got really emotional about. Now I want to talk about masculine versus feminine energy people. So most healers have an abundance of feminine energy. And what the sort of coaching programs and that coaching program I was in was teaching was a lot of masculine energy structures, which are great, not putting them down, but the way they did marketing, the way they did always reaching out is great for extroverts, great for people with a lot of masculine energy, but was breaking me. I spent 3 years super miserable trying to force myself to use these very extroverted masculine energy go-get systems. I let it all go a couple of years ago, and I went back to just using inner world feminine energy, sitting, feeling, letting my heart rain out, letting my energy contact people that I didn't even know, welcoming them into my healership. I started really using inner world practices, and boom, my healing practice just started exploding again. So there are a lot of feminine energy tools that I've just never come across anyone teaching that I've figured out how to do. But use your strengths. Feminine energy doesn't have to be a weakness or a barrier with business. It can be a strength where you really use your inner world ways to welcome people to you. And opening your receiving channels is a big part of that, right? You are natural givers, but you're not balancing it with the amount of energy you're able to receive. And that's for love, money, health. You really need to amp up your ability to receive so that your giving can come from this very, very full and flowing place. So having a masculine structure that works for you, and then a feminine way to flow over that structure so that you can really welcome people in a way that's authentic and real and great for you, is what I highly, highly suggest. And creating your client program in a way that works for your client and you, but also having a treatment contract is something I really recommend, so that you have a very clear outline of what your client's going to get and what their goals are, and that you both sign it. So you both sign your name on the dotted line, you make the commitment, you know what you're going to get, and you can refer back to that commitment and that contract if they start to let their energy drop, and you remind them that they've signed this contract, they're in it. And it really helps. It really helps to build the build the motivation and help keep them accountable because they have signed to their own healing. So that's the 4 secrets. Regulating your own energy, making your peace with prosperity, having a structure that works for you, and number 2, walking your talk, living your healership and living your practice. We're going to do a Q&A. This world, God, especially now. I mean, a few weeks ago when I first gave this talk for the first time, we needed it. Then the pandemic went nuts. Now we really need trained, high level, high energy, skillful healers. And from working with these therapists that came to me a few months ago and them asking, they wanted to be in a group. So I have made a group program. And actually, I can just drop this right in there. You can see what it involves because it's a lot. I'm actually giving what I give to others. Feminine energy is a superpower. Yes, I love that. If you want, you can click on that link. It's in the chat box. And you can see part of what that program contains. And it's, let me get back to my notes here. Sorry. I have way too many windows open to be doing this. So I'm going to put healers on the training program I give to my clients. So you can learn all the inner world ways of how to run your energy. There's over 40 training modules to teach you how to do that. And then there's a whole component of how to apply that to your business, how to find your way to structure your practice that works for you. I'm actually bringing in a publicity specialist to teach you how to get publicity and how to use marketing channels, free marketing channels, to get your message out there, because that's not my specialty. So I brought in an expert to do that. And if you want to talk to me about that, I am happy to get on the phone and do like a half-an-hour consultation with you and just see if this program is right for you. And I trust you to feel into your inner wisdom and feel if like, yes, this is appropriate for me at this time. And I have an inner green light and an energy match to go with this. I don't know, I really don't know anywhere else that's offering this with the level of expertise I have in teaching people how to regulate their own energy and hold frequencies and move it through and use that attraction energy to have a really prosperous practice and feel energized while doing it. So, oh, and it's half the normal price because it's a pilot program. So I'm actually doing it for half the normal price it costs to work with me. So this is just going to be a small group of healers getting together to do this training program and calls twice a month. So it's really cool. So I'll open up. You guys can ask me questions. And I just really, before y'all go, it's just, if you don't want to stay on and ask questions, please implement what I've taught you here today in your own way. Use it, amp yourself up. We are definitely going to get through this time and come out the other side. So let's come out prepared and ready to take on the healing that is so, so needed in this world. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all of the work you're already doing. Keep up your beautiful work, and let's stay connected as healers. You know, I run the Pittsburgh Healers Collective, so you can get into that too. It's free, and we get together, and we're going to do healing creations throughout Pittsburgh. So if you're into that, I'd love to have you there. And keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much for being a healer on this planet. You are needed. All right. So do we have any questions? You can unmute yourself in the lower right-hand corner. Nothing? Seriously? Did I just talk way too much? Oh, where's the info?
I have a question.
The link, oh, you know what? I only sent it to Leah. Hi, Leah. I only sent it to you, apparently. Okay. There you go. There's the link.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, question.
How do you price your services, or what are some resources to help me figure that out?
Yeah, so great. Pricing services, I have found that I really need to go inside and find my own alignment with that instead of market value. You know, when I was doing this high-end course, like these coaches that don't even do healing work, but they're just coaching, were charging, you know, $20,000, and I know someone who's charging $38,000, like just these astronomical prices. And I just wasn't in alignment with that. And I really value my work, and I know it's great, but I had to really go inside. And one of the tools I use is, what would I feel good about investing money-wise and getting what this person offers? How would I feel about that energy exchange? Because really it's an energy exchange. And you're paying not for their hours, but for the transformation you're receiving. And that's the big mindset shift with how I went from doing one-on-one sessions to doing either 6 months or a year commitment. Is we're getting really clear. I'm doing an hour and a half free consultation to even see if they're an energy match for me, if I actually can help them with what they want. And if I can't be 100% successful, I send them to someone else. I don't even offer them to do my program. It's the same thing with these coaches, healers, and therapists I've been talking to. We talk, and I don't even offer the program if it isn't the exact right energy match that's going to be able to help them. So part of it is only welcoming people into your practice that you know you can help and that you can give them what they need. And then basing on their transformation, what value does that have in their life? So that's the biggest thing, without giving you any number, because your number is yours, you know? I just don't base it on market value or what's popular or any of that. And that's how I keep my own integrity as well, and always stay in alignment with that amount. Did that help? Uh-oh, did I lose her? Well, I hope that helped.
Thank you, it did. I'm giving blood, so I can't talk very easily.
Oh my God, that is some temptation, dang it. Wow, thank you for what you're doing. Wow, I am so impressed. Good for you. Holy moly. All right, Paul, nice to see you. Any other questions? I'm here to help. I'd love to help you right now when you've got me.
Something that comes to my mind is there's, among the many people that I've met, even healers, where there's the inner critic and then there's the inner hypocritic. And that's just what came to my mind now.
Yes. Yeah, right? And does that relate to you about around the like not walking your talk?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I feel like, you know, there's the myth of the wounded healer, Chiron, the wounded healer, where we all get into healing because of our own pain. I know I got into healing because of my own pain. At the time it was physical because I was in total denial of my emotional pain. But, you know, there is something there to that, where I believe as healers, like we have such open hearts. We want to give so much. We need so much healing. And then when we learn how to give it, it's so common to just close ourselves off from that own healing. So yeah, the inner hypocritic and critic, I like that. Honestly, it's one of the ways that you keep prosperity happening, because instead of the vibration you're giving out is this harmonic dissonance or this cognitive dissonance, you're giving out harmony. And it's not about being perfect. It's about being practiced, right? It's like, I'm not wiser than anyone else. I just have a lot of practice connecting to my wisdom, right? I believe we all pull from the same pool of wisdom, and it's just how practiced is your connection to that wisdom? How practiced are you to getting into your center and living from your center? How practiced are you in letting energy move through you? How practiced are you at eating healthy, sleeping, moving your body, right? And we need all that. We need body, energy, mind, emotion. They all work together to make you as healthy as possible. And when any of those are left out, we suffer. So I think it's really being in a high level of practice, and that keeps us in integrity, and that, right, we're putting out a different energy when we're really living it in our imperfect human way.
Liz, could you say a little bit more about the program itself? So you were saying that there's an opportunity for a small group of healers to be going through the program. So could you say a little bit more about, like, is that a cohort kind of model? Like, are we going to be getting to talk together through different video sessions and that kind of thing? Just really interested to hear what that looks like.
Sure, yes. So there's a few parts. So there's the part where you're going to get the full energy training. So those are training modules that come in your email. Then we're going to meet in this forum, in my Zoom room, twice a month. So we're going to have calls where we get together twice a month and we help each other. And then there will also be a totally private forum where we can be in continuous contact and help with each other. And then we will get together. So within the 6 months, and obviously with the virus, we'll do the live getting together at a time when it's safe. And if it isn't safe for a year, I'll do it online. I do tons of stuff online anyway. I can do full day workshops online. So we'll get together and we will do live interactive trainings where I really take you through the training routines, the energy routines, and we really work them through your system. And on the calls, we'll be doing that too. I do energy work with people all over the world. And it's very effective virtually. Time has no difference. So I'll be helping you work out the kinks in your own energy system and really working through the problems you come up with. And then is all the professional part, like really finding a way to structure your practice that works for you. Like I said, I won't be superimposing my structure onto you. We'll find yours, your way. And to a great extent, if you want to do talks like I do, I can help you structure the talk. Each person's going to get what they need for their professional world to really run in a way that lets you be your full self, and really inhabit your own healership in a full way. So getting all your structures in place in a way that works for you. On that link, I have a really long checklist of all the things we'll be going over in the course, and I reserve the right to add in more. And then I'll also bring in the professional, the PR professional, public relations professional, and they actually have templates, and they'll help you to get your message out there in a way, again, that is in integrity for you. Another thing I'm really great at helping healers with is organizing your knowledge. So right, I have my unique body of knowledge, you have your unique body of knowledge, and organizing it in a way where you can easily voice it and easily tell people about what you do, which a lot of healers struggle with, and really hone your energy so that you are focused and can attract the people that you know you can help most. That help?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Sure. On that link, it's happywomanacademy.com/certification. It's in your thing. It has all of the things that it includes. There's the 2 levels. Level 1 is the 6 months. Level 2 is the full year. So it tells you what they both include. And I just think it's dynamic. I love working in groups. My one-on-one work is awesome, but man, there's something so special to working in groups. And having that dynamic. And I just think having a bunch of healers helping each other I think it's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be really cool. I've never done it. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. Did I just ruin it? Okay. Okay, good. I've never done it where it's all healers in a group. I always have some healers in the group, but this is going to be this one is just for healers. I think it's going to be interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
Elizabeth.
Yes.
Yeah. I was very attracted to this today because of your focus on the feminine energy model. So many things are, like you were saying, were that masculine energy, very aggressive, be a boss bitch kind of thing. I could add that always is so against my personal alignment as a healer. And it gives me horrible anxiety just to be around that and have, these different trainings and stuff that are very aggressive. It's all masculine energy. And this is so attractive to me because that's what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out, who I am as a healer to present myself in the best frame.
Yeah.
I'm an integrative nutrition health coach, but I'm also in school for functional medicine.
Cool.
And, I have a lot of unique experiences to bring to it. I still don't have a website for that very reason because I'm still evolving and growing and honing my superpower.
Yep. Thank you for putting up the website, actually, because one of the women that signed up really early for the course, we didn't start it yet because it was all so new, and so I helped her do her website, and it's amazing. It's gorgeous now, and her getting that languaging down. I mean, I paid someone, this was years ago, but I paid someone $1,000 just to do my landing page. I'm just going to include all of that because now I'm really good at it because I do it by energy frequency. So really honing in on your energy frequency and how you can bring that across on your page will make it so much easier. It won't be the struggle.
Yeah, it's not really so much of a struggle, so much as I just didn't know. Oh, my dogs! I didn't know. I'm still becoming my heal. I didn't want to have to continually, and I'm still evolving as a healer. So I just never felt like it was representing me properly. So
I get that. And there's another side to that too, which is I go on my website all the time and tweak it, and I feel like that keeps the vibrational frequency of it very much alive.
Yeah.
So when I started on this stuff, I didn't know how to do any of that. And now I actually enjoy doing it. I fought it for a while. Now I enjoy doing it. And so you could even get started, even if it's just within yourself, because you don't have to make it go live. You don't have to share the link, but you can even get started or make it go live and share I'm in transformation too.
Yeah.
This is everything I offer. Look how awesome I am.
Yeah, no, because I have a friend who's been a functional medicine practitioner for a long time, and she was talking about having to take this, supplement, and that really helped her to focus and do her blogging and newsletter and all this. And I was like, because she felt so scattered, and I said, wait, stop. I'm like, this is your superpower. You're blocking out your feminine energy, which is the multitasking, the beautifulness.
Yep.
And you see this as a flaw. It's not a flaw. This is superpower here. And she's been doing this for 30 years. And she just looked at me like, nobody's ever said that to me before. And I said, yeah, being able to focus, that's very masculine. Don't fault yourself for it. It's not a flaw. It's a superpower. And, yes, it's inconvenient, but that's why you hire out. Like you.
Exactly. I hire.
You can't be everything.
Exactly. You just can't. You can't do all of the parts. So hiring out is definitely part of it. And I've also found a way to do it in my feminine that feels very flowing, very full of energy, very creative. In my group, Happy Woman, I pick a theme of the week. And I live that theme of the week. I take it really seriously. And when I make those posts I am not making them from a structured masculine place at all. I am making them with energy and heart and feeling and emotion. And so it's really a shift to learning how to use your feminine for the superpower it is. But man, I'll tell you, it's so not popular in the patriarchy and not taught how to do that, you know, but we have it. We have it. It's
Yeah,
just
but we
really
always feel like there's something wrong with us, or there's, you know, we're not doing it right or something. And that it, you know, it kind of messes with your mojo and, you know, like, but I'm drawn to do it this way. And I feel like I want to do it this way. And why is it wrong? And, you know.
oh, I lived it. I was absolutely miserable. I hear you 100%.
Yeah. I mean, it gives me so much anxiety that, like, you know, when I'll take a course and they're marketing and all this, you know, you have to do it this way and it's this way and it's this way. And it's just like, this is like space alien to me. I just does not resonate with my spirit at all.
I know. I tell you, I let it all go. I kept the structures that were working for me, right? Because structure can give you freedom and let you flow, right? The banks of the river let the water flow in the direction it's going. I kept the structure, but I let go of all of that stuff that felt like it was breaking me and was just totally against me. And so yeah, there is a very real way to use your feminine and to do business. It really, you can bring them together. So yeah, I hear you, and we've been on this path, right? But I'm so happy now, especially in comparison to those 3 years where I was suffering. So it's not effortful and hard anymore, and it doesn't give me anxiety anymore. It's actually like, ooh, I get to do this. Ooh, I do it all from this extremely feminine space. I mean, this is my healing room, right? It's this big, open, mostly empty space. I've got my little place where I do healings from, and my little seat here. That's my nonlinear movement method mat. That's my little chair. It's my really high ceilings. Like, this is where I do all my healing work. I come up here, I roll around on the floor, I move my body, I do some work on the computer, I move around more, like, really letting my whole body lead me instead of staying stuck in a chair and forcing myself to do something. Very different way.
Liz, I have a question.
Yeah, honey. Hi.
Hi. So I'm obviously not, I know that I'm a healer. I don't, as a human. However, everything you're describing is what I would like to put in practice in my professional life. Like I'm struggling. This downtime has given me the opportunity to be in my feminine, which feels amazing, which is one of the blessings that I'm seeing through this whole process. However, I'm sitting in my feminine, just allowing for thoughts or ideas to come to me on how I can prosper in my professional life. Once, like you said, I can start doing that, because right now we are pretty much quarantined.
Yeah.
So can I be part of this group even though I'm not a healer like you?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Everyone, I know Catalina really well. I know her from Los Angeles, and she is a healer in life for sure. I know her story and her life. And yeah, I mean, it's called Professional Energy Mastery. And so certification, and it is about using your energy for your profession.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm making it, and this came about, this didn't originate from me. This originated because these 3 women came to me and asked me for it.
Okay.
And I created it. So, yeah. You know, it's been a few months of really being with all of this and working with them and helping them to create this program. So yeah, you'd be absolutely welcome in it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Liz?
Yes, hi.
Hi. Real quick question for you, please. You were talking about the 4 main ways that energy flows,
Yes.
and outward, inward, stop, and what was the other one?
Sure. It's push, pull, stop, allow.
Push, pull, stop, and allow.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I learned those at Barbara Brennan. That's a Barbara Brennan teaching.
Okay.
We have to be able to master that with our hands. So pushing, pulling, stopping, and allowing. And with our energy fields in interaction. So we get tested on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it is something I use all day, every day within myself for my own healing and benefit, and with others. And so I'm including it in this training because we often go things where unconsciously, and I'm going to get really good at being able to feel, when am I out of this uncentered place and I'm really trying to convince and push, or I'm really like secretly sucking energy from people and trying to get them to come to me. There's an unhealthy way to pull or to receive, right? To push or to give.
Okay, yes, yes.
Very different.
Indeed.
Different, right? So
Yeah.
how we can unconsciously dishonor our clients is by not knowing if we're pushing at them or if we're pulling from them. And there's secret manipulations. But once you get really aware of how you feel, you're not manipulating anymore, because everything's coming from this centered place. And it can be
the
like,
good place.
Yeah, this is an authentic time where you actually need to use a little push energy to get some forward momentum, right? To get over a block. Or this is a time where actually the thing for that block is we're just going to sit and be with it. And use allow.
Okay.
Right? So getting really masterful at when to use push, pull, stop, or allow.
I see.
Yeah, it is quintessential to a healthy healership. I wish it was taught to psychologists. I wish, because it is without it, we're always secretly doing something that we're not aware of, and we can really repel people with too much push, too much pull. We can have stop energy going on in a healthy way where we're creating a really healthy boundary, or in a way that blocks energy flow, where we're blocking our own prosperity, we're blocking healing in some way. So they all have a dark and a light side, and it's really getting clear on how they feel inside of you, and then how you can use them to be dynamic.
Right. And not just healership, but in life, it seems, how to successfully navigate your life.
And your love life.
Sure. Every aspect.
Right?
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, because I use it with my man all the time, right? Like I can see like, ooh, my propensity here is to push. It's not healthy. I'm just going to be with this man that I love. And this amazing healing happens that would not have happened if I had pushed. And then there's the totally appropriate time to push, right?
Right.
And again, we don't do it perfectly, but we can get very masterful.
Thank you very much.
And masterful is a word I prefer over master. I've only been at this 27 years. I practice every day. I don't think I'm a master. I think I'm on a path of mastery, and I'm masterful. For me, that's a differentiation that might not be important to anyone else, but that's how I stay in my integrity with it. So that's just my own thing. See, good questions. I knew it. Anyone else have?
One more question. When would this training start?
We're actually going to start in the next couple of weeks. Actually, it's time.
Okay.
So we're going to decide as a group the day and the time, because we have people in many different time zones. So I already have someone in California, Catalina.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So we're gonna agree as a group, and we're gonna find the time as a group, the right day, the right time to start.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
Perfect time.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's like last year's group. That wasn't on me either. Someone else made me start that one too.
Which I think is great.
Takes a village.
Yep.
I can feel energy like in different places. My stomach is, it's doing a flip. I'm feeling like third eye stuff going on. I'm feeling stuff back in here when this conversation's going on, because there's energy that's dealing with my own energies. I can feel it. It's interesting.
I can definitely say this is not a paid announcement, but I have known Liz for a long time, and I feel so blessed to have met her years ago, and her genuine heart and her always willing to help, and her integrity, and I mean, I can go on and on. Really, I just feel so blessed, and I'm hoping I can get myself to start this program, because it's definitely, anyone that does will reap the rewards.
Thank you, honey. That was very generous. Thank you. I've been blessed to know Catalina too. Yeah, I sincerely feel, and I did put this on there because I feel it's true. And now we have the corona epidemic, and I have to sit with it if this is still true. I haven't actually sat with it. I'm super transparent if you haven't realized that one already. I do feel that the investment in the class, you will be able to pay off before the year is up, before a year is up. I really, really think that the changes you will implement will have your energy running so differently that a year from now, you will have absolutely made back the investment. Even with the coronavirus, I'll sit with it more. I'll sit with it more, but it does feel absolutely possible that it will pay for itself within a year. And like I said, when that lovely woman asked about pricing, like I can only price things in a way where I'm like, I would pay for that. That's a good investment. And that's something we'll do on the course too, is there's more than what's written there. I mean, it's a lot, because we're going to be interacting like this, and stuff's going to come up for you. And I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I can teach you how to do that. I can teach you how to open your third eye and why the back of your third eye is so important, and how that makes the huge difference in carrying out your vision. Like, we're going to work with that stuff. So, yeah.
I'm very receptive to the energy work, as you can tell. Like, I was like describing exactly what was going on in my body, and yeah.
Oh yeah, I love it. And that's my sweet spot, working with energy and helping people embody frequencies.
Yeah.
That is, Catalina's actually been in my live workshops where we embody frequencies. It's freaking awesome.
It
is freaking awesome.
It is.
It is. It's really powerful. She's been in like rooms full of women. I actually did a workshop in this room. How many women did we have? 17 women in this room in November. Catalina did that same workshop in LA, and then I did it here in Pittsburgh. It's so great. I love that workshop.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing a lot of that, embodying frequencies and practicing it. There's just something different when you just go all in and you're like, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
It changes. Makes it easier. And I think with group, it just makes it more fun. My boyfriend named this year, we pick a theme for the year. So the theme of the year is fun. And it's coming in really handy right now because we're making this quarantine fun. And it has been fun every day. It's easy because I'm an introvert, but still making it fun. And I feel that frequency of joy, that play, fun, needs to be a part of one's healership, because most of us take healing very, very seriously. I had, 5 different psychotherapists told me I needed to lighten up about healing. I take it really seriously. But light, joy is light, right? It brings light into the darkness. And that is what, in each in our own way, what we do. So to have it be so heavy and so dire does not let in the amount of light that people need. Got to amp up the light. I make it fun. I try to make all of my teachings and workshops fun. Right, Catalina? Even though they're serious work.
Yes, absolutely.
We laugh a lot. Catalina's probably been in like 40 of my circles too.
At least.
Yeah. All right, what else we got? We're amazing. Look at us go. Oh my God, this is incredible. Sandra.
Hi.
Hi.
I do all of my healing work in person
Uh-huh.
up until yesterday. I'm an acupuncturist. So I'm definitely going through, and I'm in my house right now. Can't practice right now. So I'm, working on coming up with some different offerings that I can do online. And there's, I have some ideas. And I've been feeling pretty good up until today. And then I started really getting into some you can probably feel the emotion coming up in my voice, some real panic and going into scarcity. And
I'm so glad you're voicing this. Thank you.
So, yeah, and really, I really had been using a lot of my tools, and I know that I won't be feeling like this forever because I'll continue to use those tools and everything. But today it really hit me. Just a lot of fear about what it's going to look like when I am able to go back to work. And anyway, so I was just wondering if you had any, if you had a tip for me or for anyone else that might be experiencing that kind of going into the fear and the scarcity when your income is, just cut off abruptly. So
Yeah. Thank you so much for being brave and voicing it and being real.
Yeah.
And you're voicing what a lot of people are feeling right now. So it's not just you, you're actually voicing it for millions.
Yeah.
So let's all breathe. And I really want to be of service. So this is happening right now. It's important to let yourself feel what you're feeling. And I'm going to repeat your own wisdom back to you, which is, you won't be feeling this way forever, and you'll implement your tools and you'll feel good again and come back out. And that ability to be skillful, to be nimble. One of the things that helped me most, that was the biggest shift for me I had chronic depression for over 40 years. And I started using these tools that I teach, as well as receiving somatic experiencing therapy. And one of the biggest shifts for me was when I could say what you just said. I know I won't be here forever. Because for 40 years, I was there forever, and I thought I'd be there forever. So knowing that life has this rhythm, that healing has this, what we call the creative wave in Barbara Brennan, where you will have the low points, you'll feel them fully, and then you'll implement your tools to raise your vibrational frequency and be good again. And good, that was, erase that, and feel good again. We want to manifest on the outside from that good, high feeling place. During this low feeling time, we just want to take care of ourselves. Let yourself cry, eat, sleep, move as you can, and let yourself have your full emotion, express your full emotion. And don't go into action from that place. So many people take action from the fearful place. And then they manifest more lack, right? We manifest what we're vibrating at. We manifest from the frequency of lack or from the frequency of prosperity and feeling good. So during this time, Kendra, take such tender care of yourself. Be good to yourself. Be gentle. There are many times where I'm just laying on that mat with a blanket around me. Right? And then move. I don't know if you've, sorry, I just don't know if you've been to the nonlinear movement method class yet, but that teaches a method. It's only a $25 class. That teaches a method for moving your bodies in ways that let your cells safely and gradually release trauma so that it gets easier and easier to sustain feeling good again. When you can sustain a prosperity frequency, new ideas come to you for, this is what I could do during the quarantine to make some more money. This is what I can do to prepare myself for more clients. Oh, I could do this. The ideas, the good ideas that can bring you more money come when you're holding that prosperity frequency. When you're holding the lack frequency, you can come up with ideas, but they're all from this place of scrambling and from fear. So we want to manifest and take action when we're in that place of centered power and our frequency is raised. And we just want to rest and take care of ourselves when we have that low frequency, and gradually then work our way up to a higher frequency to get better ideas to manifest from. Some of the things we'll be doing in the group is brainstorming, but from this higher frequency place. Otherwise, you're brainstorming from fear. Which I did a lot of in the thing I used to.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so just a sec, Catalina. And so for Kendra, this might sound nuts.
That's okay.
So you do acupuncture. How long have you been doing it?
About 6.5 years.
Okay, so you're good. You're practiced, you're good.
Yep.
I would suggest phoning a friend and giving her a treatment like this. So assessing her the way you would, deciding, which meridians you're going to work with, and just holding a needle in your hand and going along. You could lay out a stuffed animal or nothing, going along and doing the treatment. I suggest that as an energy practice. Part of what we do is keep energy moving. I saw this great video of a massage therapist giving her dog a treatment. It was really, really beautiful. She's like, I got to stay in practice during the quarantine. There is something about moving energy and doing things to move energy instead of, especially for spiritual people who are working with raising their prosperity frequency and energy a prosperity consciousness, there's something around just moving the energy that keeps prosperity going.
That makes sense, yeah.
So I know that sounds a little crazy about doing a treatment without a body there, but I suggested, I had a client in Belgium who was with orthopedic, she did hands-on, what is that called? Osteopath. And she got really sick. She had like a bad flu. This was years ago. But she still wanted to see clients. So there's a bit of a battle there. And I said, let's give a try you doing a long distance osteopathic, you know what I'm trying to say, treatment to my neck right now. Let's see if you can do it. And because I had some neck pain, and she did it. She could do it. She's never even tried to do long distance before. It never even occurred to her. She's worked with bodies for 20 years.
Cool.
So play with it. There could be something there.
I've definitely been thinking of some different, tools. I was thinking of walking people even through maybe applying essential oils to the acupuncture points, and then me walking them through a guided meditation. And so I definitely have ideas, but definitely what you said about just waiting until I'm back at my higher vibration to put it out there. Because today, like yesterday, I was really good, and I was feeling good. I had a nutrition consult with one of my patients from a distance, so that was cool. That was something I can do, and I did a hypnotherapy training last year that I really never implemented because I have just been busy with my acupuncture practice. So I am like, okay, now's the perfect time to start implementing that because I can do that from a distance. But for some reason, just like a couple hours ago, my vibration just went like tanked. And just what you said about just being gentle and just going within until I'm implementing my tools until I feel good again. And that'll be the time. Today I was going to sit down and write my email with all my virtual offerings, and I'm like, maybe today's not the day. Maybe.
Yeah. You always want to be taking action from your calm centered place. And it's why, if any of you are in Happy Woman, right? Like you only see me live on there when I'm really, really feeling it. I'm an introvert.
Mm-hmm.
So, right? Like I can't force myself to do this stuff. I have to be in alignment to do it. Because otherwise I'm just a mess, right? So like you find your own way to produce, to give, to do from your aligned center and with your feminine fully intact. Society has taught us to push our feminine aside.
Yes. Yeah.
And separate ourselves and be masculine. And that's, by the way, an unhealthy masculine too. So I don't just support women with learning how to use their healthy feminine. I teach the difference between healthy and unhealthy feminine and healthy and unhealthy masculine.
Yeah.
Both. Because we need both. We just need them. I might be a 70-30 or an 80-20, but I need that masculine energy, but I need to use it in a healthy way. And for most of my life, I was an unhealthy masculine. I was pushing myself too hard. I had 4 different jobs and I was in school. Push. It was awful. I always felt broken. And then I went into another system that made me feel worse. Like, it was just like, oh my God. So I totally let all of that go. And now I honor my feminine and I do it from that place. And I'm so much happier, so much more prosperous, feel so much better, have so much more energy. I used to fall asleep every day at 3. I was wiped out. And it was a combination of not knowing how to regulate my energy, not honoring the feminine, and not eating enough. I was undernourished. Undernourishment will continue your depressive symptoms and or cause them.
Can I offer some healing advice for our Kendra Lay?
Yes.
Sure.
Make it snappy.
Yeah. Quick. I was, this is the empathic energy that's, making you feel so low. And it's natural. You know, we're sponges and we take it all in, and we need to, I had a virtual spiritual friend of mine send me some grounding energy, because she was like, "You are not grounded, girl." And I was like, I know, I was a mess. And, you know, not because I was feeling a mess, because I was feeling the world's pain and fear. Anyway, so I was able to ground myself, and gone. And then there was a meditation, because I kept trying to like avoid the fear, push the fear, you know, right? And what the meditation was to inhale the fear and anxiety that you're feeling and let it distill through your heart, and exhale the peace and the joy.
Yeah, that's called Top Glen.
Yeah, it was it was life-changing. So anyway, just to let you know, you're not alone in that low place. But all of a sudden, my vibration was just so through the roof, and all the creative energy came back, and all of the love, and the dancing in the kitchen, and not being affected by the trauma that's going on in the world. I was just living in my own positive energy, and thinking of ways to then expand my virtual practice. So it's normal, it's natural. I went through it last week, and I am a different person now. So anyway.
Awesome. Thank you. And I also want to say, for all of us, every single one of us going through this, there is a grieving. There is a grieving of how we used to live has changed. There is a grieving that people are sick. There is a grieving that we can't do what we want to do. So that needs to move through as well. You know, I got it all at once. I got it 2 weeks ago Thursday, just like all at once. My man lost his job, and I realized I wasn't going to be able to see my live clients anymore. I went through like 6 hours, and I just moved it through on that mat, did a lot of nonlinear. My man, obviously losing his job, was freaking out. And when we got together for dinner, we were both like utterly and totally renewed, and energy hasn't dropped again since. Now I keep my practices in, I do them every day, but really moved a lot of that grief through me. And I've talked to so many people. You know, my one-on-one healing practice is still very active, and everyone's been going through that grieving process too. So I just want to name that in the space too, that grief is present. And there's a big collective grief present and collective fear present. And for me, conscious manifestation is always about paying attention to where you're at, and then taking action from that higher place frequency where all the great ideas come to you. And it's really about practicing feeling good. We don't have those strong neural pathways, right? My work is primarily based in neurobiology. And so I do a lot with the combination of energy and neurobiology. They go so beautifully together, and it makes it very full, because we involve your body, your emotions, your energy, your thoughts all together, because they are a completely interactive system. But a lot of people leave out the brain training. I'm trained in how to do it. So we've got to make those strong neural pathways and strong brain waves to feeling good and being able to sustain feeling good for longer periods of time. And that takes training. It's like weightlifting. You've got to make the frequencies stronger, just like you would make your muscles stronger. So yeah. Beautiful. Well, now we've gone like an hour and a half, which was totally unexpected in every way. How amazing. We all clearly have a lot more time on our hands than we used to, right? But I have to go into a healing session soon, so I must close. So I close this beautiful healing vortex that is the 4 secrets to the energized and prosperous healer. I leave you with this link. We can have a talk and see if this course is right for you. I would love to speak with you one-on-one anyway, so please don't hesitate. You won't be bothering me. And we'll arrange a time that works for you to get together and talk. I would love that. So I'm sending you all so much love and so much appreciation for being a healer in this world, for giving your love, for giving your healing. We really need it right now. Mwah! Sending you so much love, and I look forward to talking to you all soon. Bye. It's happywomanacademy.com/certification. And there's a button there you can press to talk to me. Bye, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye.
And Paul.
Happy early birthday.
Thanks, honey.
Bye.
Bye.